All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I get freaking mud on me because I have a dog. Other side. I have a dog that likes to jump. Well, not even jump. When she stands up on her back feet, her paws go here. So, too funny. It was a clean sweatshirt. I promise. Uh, so, anyway, guys, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys are having a good week so far. Wednesday already. So, before we jump into anything, I want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here. So, we're not going to tolerate that. So, let's just have a nice chat and we will go from there. All right, man. I am so ready for the weather to just be nice. Had enough. Now we're on the last day of January here. It's amazing how fast the time goes by. It's absolutely, truly amazing to me. I'm just like, man, where did time go? But it's gone. It's happening, which is one day closer to spring. That's why I look at it. We're almost, we're through January because basically January's over in a few hours, and we will move on to the next step. I'm just looking to see if yeah, all right. Ah, so I got to tell you before we jump into anything else, I got to tell you what happened to me yesterday. Now, some of you go, wait a minute, did this happen to you before? And it did. Um, no, we need snow. There's been hardly any snow. And there's more than enough. I am not a fan of winter. Never have been, never will be. So, and actually, it's funny because I've talking with Heather. We've had more snow down here this year than they have back in New York. It's Thursday evening. It's Thursday Eve. Okay. Here's some snacks for the chicks. Well, thank you very much, Asif. I appreciate that. So yesterday, I'm out and I'm driving and hit the brakes, and the brakes go all the way to the floor. So that was interesting, and I'm like, yeah, this is not a good. That's not a good feeling. Not a good feeling. So I got stopped, and I'm like, okay, let me limp back home. So I turned around and used my emergency brake when I had to, and got turned around, came back home, called up. Now, if you guys will remember, last year I had brakes went on me, but they were going gradually. Last year they were kind of just going gradually. This time it was just like boom, all of a sudden, and I'm like, yeah, this is not good. So I knew last year I should have changed out my rotors. Okay, I did not change out my rotors last year. I did what I had to do, was just a temporary fix, just changing out the brake pads, and didn't change out the rotors. So this time, I spent a good part of today at the dealership getting the brakes and rotors changed out, and I also had um, a caliper was bad. So, but here's the cool thing, and talk about timing. All right. So when I bought the truck, I had gotten the extended warranty on the truck. All right. And so that warranty goes until 90,000 miles. Well, I had, and it's $100 deductible for the warranty, and that doesn't cover brakes or rotors. Okay. But the caliper, it does. And I had $100 deductible. And so, what ended up happening was, well, that's according to the media. We're going to get into that in just a second. We're going to get into that in just a second. Um, so anyway, what I it was good to 90,000 miles. Well, I have 89,527 miles on the truck. So talking about just getting it in under the wire. So I was able to get that taken care of. Had to just pay the deductible on that, and so that now I know is done. because I couldn't remember how long it was going to last or how, what it was good for. But yeah, I was like less than 500 miles away where it would not have been good, and I would have had to pay for that all out of pocket. So now my front brakes are good. Um, Rotors are changed, and it was funny too because I got it. So when I was in New York, I had my rear tires done because they were bad. They were not in good shape. So I had the rear tires done when I was in New York. So when I was at the dealership, they're like, "Well, your back brakes need to be changed too," and I go, "Yeah, not right now." And they were like, "And your front tires, you need to change out your front tires," and I'm like, "Yeah, not right now." After taking this hit that I took today, it's going to be a little bit longer. I do obviously want to get the back brakes done as well, and I do need to change the tires in the front as well. So, but those are all going to have to, you know, wait because I don't have that kind of money sitting around. But yeah, it's not any fun, not any fun. Uh, so yes, that's what I was dealing with that, and so this morning, so I want you to picture this. So this morning I leave here, and to go anywhere, realistically, you're looking at 40 minutes to get anywhere. So in order to get to, the Ford dealership, it was, it's about 45-minute drive, and I'm doing that with no brakes or very, very bad brakes. I should, there wasn't wasn't much, and so yeah, not fun, not a fun time. But I got there, we got it done. That's one less thing for now. So we're going to talk about the trucker convoy here first. So now, what I want you to remember, okay, right? We got to remember what is the spin. Let's look at this from this perspective. Does the media want you to realize that the trucker convoy is a good thing or a bad thing, right? Um, but hold on, Larry, relax, relax. Um, so what they're saying is, it's all God, Larry. You need to really relax, my friend. Okay, you need to relax. Um, so they left from Virginia. They're heading to Florida. Apparently, according to the news media, like I said, I haven't seen pictures. I don't know. You know what I mean? I haven't seen pictures. I don't know. And they were saying that there wasn't a whole lot of trucks, truckers in there, and basically the truckers have been scared off of the situation, and of course the media is saying, if 700 trucks go to the border, shortages will be. Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing too, like the trucker convoy that happened in Canada. Look how that turned out for them. Do you think that the average person that's a trucker wants to deal with that as well? Realistically, okay, they don't want to lose their rigs. They're trying to make a living. Things suck right now, all over for a lot of people. But I mean, is there a convoy? Apparently there is, but there's not a lot of trucks in there. Truckers. It's all pickup trucks and cars, whatever. I mean, it's what they want to do. They can do whatever they want to do. But I think a lot of people are very concerned, which they should be. That is it a setup? Is it are they being set up for failure? The media does not want this thing to be successful. You have to understand that because it is against what the powers that be want, right? If you have a huge group of people go down and protest and say, hey, and there's a huge showing, that doesn't bode well for the current administration. So, of course, the media is going to say, no matter what, if it was good or bad or whatever the case, they're going to say, oh, no, it's not doing good. There's not a lot of truckers. It's cars and and pickup trucks, and they're having all kinds of problems and this and that and the other thing. And who knows what the truth is, honestly, folks? I mean, do you believe now all of a sudden? I mean, let's be realistic. Just because the media says that the trucker convoy is a failure, does that mean that the trucker convoy is a failure? So Live streamers from the convoy said 41 vehicles when they left Jackson. Oh, the Jacksonville? Okay. All right. Yeah, so who knows? I mean, maybe they'll pick people up, maybe they won't. I don't know. Oh yeah, I have my Rice Krispies here. Because it's actually on this side. It looks it, where I'm sitting, okay, even though it's over on my right hand side, it looks like it's on my left hand side. And it doesn't even make sense because I'm using my left hand, but it's reversed on video, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I have a friend that shot video for 20 miles along, uh, 20 miles long of 18 wheelers. They were going in the opposite way. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, who knows? Honestly, who knows? Have you thought about getting a backup vehicle, leave one near the road so that you can get out in bad weather? You know what, Matt? It's hard enough just having one vehicle, let alone a second vehicle and maintaining it and keeping it running. Um, yeah, no, I wish I could. If I was independently wealthy, I would have a whole bunch of stuff going on. I'd have a tractor. I love it when everybody says, "You need a tractor." No kidding. Thank you. Yeah, I know I need a tractor. If I could afford a tractor, I would have a tractor down here. A tractor would come in very, very handy down here. Very handy. But I don't have a tractor. So, and I cannot afford a tractor. So right now we don't have a tractor. Um, yeah, guys, if you have any statements or questions, if you did all cap locks, it stands out for me more. So I do appreciate that. What do we got? 368 in the chat. We're at 116 on a thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, which two-thirds of you have not, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that ahead of time. Also, it makes a huge difference with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction for the channel, the better it is. So I do appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And like I said, so we're going to talk a little bit more about the trucker convoy and, in God's army or whatever they're calling it. And I think that was dubbed by the media. They were dubbed that by the media. People don't have the money, to be honest with you, to be doing that type of stuff out of their own pocket for a long haul to drive anywhere other than if they're running freight somewhere. So, that's what you got to think. And honestly, I mean, I want you guys to think about it with the negative connotations of it and, the powers that be not wanting it to happen. People could be definitely steered away from participating in that. So, a rich wife, that would be nice, Peter. Listen, I'm ready to be a nice young lady sugar dad. Not sugar. I could be her sugar boy. She could be my sugar mama. How's that? Yeah, because I can't be a sugar daddy when I don't have nothing to be able to put out. Oh my God. Is a Texas border situation a trap? I wouldn't trust it. Honestly, my like I said again, you guys know how I feel about protest, okay? You want to protest, knock yourself out, have a good time. But there's that old expression, buyer beware. All right. A lot of people had great thoughts about January 6th. And when people asked me, if you guys remember, people asked me, are you going to Washington, D.C. January 6th? And I said, absolutely not. I said, there's no way, no how. And then, yeah, I was our sugar daddy for the bees, exactly. Um, and people were like, well, why? I said, because if you get yourself in the wrong situation in that type of a protest, you can get jammed up. I said, you can end up in prison. And I said, you're not doing anybody good in prison if things go sideways. And wow, what happened, right? So yeah, no, me in protest, even if it's something I agree with, you don't see me there. You're not gonna see me there. So to me, I just you know, I don't trust them, any of them. Who do I mean by that? I mean government officials. How about that? Okay, I do not trust them. So I'm not looking to get involved in anything where they can say that guy was part of it. He's part of the problem. I mean, it's bad enough that I'm on YouTube and I put myself out here I'm sure it puts me on lists, because, honestly, am I anti-government? To a large degree. But I play the game because I have to play the game. We all have to play the game, and so do what I have to do. But anyway, hey Sean, how you doing tonight? How's work? I hope it's good. But yeah, all it takes is one bad actor to get everybody jammed up. Exactly. It always comes down to three things, folks. Three things, right? I think I've talked about this before. People, places, and things. It's the people you're hanging out with, the things that you're doing, and the places that you are. If you are in the wrong place, right, at the right time with the wrong people, you're going to get yourself in the world of hurt. I will never forget Never forget that dude sitting on Pelosi's desk with his feet up on his desk, and the news media taking the picture, and he's sitting there, laughing and smiling. I wonder how he feels sitting in a jail cell, because I don't know if he's still in one, but I am sure he did some time, because they were not going to let people get away with that. They weren't going to let it happen. So I'd be mad if I wasn't on a list. Yeah, there you go. Well, it is what it is, folks. I mean, like I said, I do not advocate overthrowing the government. Never have, never will. I just want to be left alone. Leave me alone. Let me live my life. Don't bother me. You do your thing. You want to control the majority of the people, knock yourself out. I just don't want to be involved in it, and I will not comply. I'm not going to play your games. That cost me a job because I wouldn't do this. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. I have principles. And here's the thing, too, again, if you did or if you didn't, I don't care. Okay? I don't care. It's up to you. It's an individual choice. It's your life. You have to make decisions for your life. I'm not going to tell you what you should do or shouldn't do. What I may do is I may share some information, right? That's all I'm going to do. And you make your own decisions based on that. Who am I to judge you because you feel like you have to do something or don't have to do something? But I find it really interesting. So I'm not gonna get into the whole thing, parameters of that, but I found it very interesting that all of a sudden, everybody's got to do this, or you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you cannot, go here, and you can't go there, and then like a fart in the wind, vanish. All the restrictions vanished. Everybody could go wherever they wanted to. They didn't have to present anything to prove that they had done something or had not done something. So, I don't know. That's just my take on it. So, Susan said, "I'm so glad I had one. It made me so sick. Wouldn't do their stuff ever again." Well, and like I said, unfortunately, some people have learned the lesson, the lessons in life the hard way. So I'm sorry that you got sick, Susan. That's not any fun. Like I said, again, it's always comes down to about choices, what choices we make, what we do, and we just go from there. But anyway, what did David say about his tires rock throwing? Well, it's the thing is you got to understand it's muddy, right? We've had a ton of rain. I'm sure my truck picked up some as well, but you could see it Dave's truck. I mean, he had like a layer, like that thick of mud and crap on his tires, and a lot of it was rock. So it happens. I mean, it's part of what happens. I mean, it is what it is. So, what exactly is this caravan going to do to make a difference? Yeah, that's another good question, Peter. I have no idea. Basically go down and show their displeasure with the government. Supposed to be a peaceful protest. That's great. So was other protests that were happening. Who remembers the mostly peaceful protest when the city was burning behind the reporter, right? In whatever area that was, but it was a mostly peaceful protest. So I gotta check something here. I think I may have to. I think I may have to run out into propane tank here in a minute. Let's kick back on. We'll see if it stays on. If it doesn't stay on, you're going to have to give me a minute because, you know, why exactly do they have to announce their activities? Only sets them up for a trap. Well, I heard that some of the vehicles that whatever hotel they were staying at, they came out and their tires were slashed. I mean, their intention draw the attention of the general public. I think the general public, Okie Forge, already knows what a crap show the southern border is with everything that's been going on. It's not good. The whole situation is not good. But who knows? All right, so let's get into the topic of the video. There was a pipeline fire. I don't know if you guys saw this that recently just happened. This pipeline fire just happened. And they said the flames from the pipeline were 500 feet in the air, that it could be seen up to 30 miles away. And I want you to think about that. That's a pretty good fire going that could be seen 30 miles away. And there was a picture, and the person was, quite a distance away, and you could see this fire going in the background. So, my question, of course, always in those situations with pipelines and everything else, and those little things that happen, sabotage, right? Terrorism, if you will, accident. I mean, accidents are going to happen. It's how it goes. I saw a video at the park that the guard is secure, but 2 miles down, the wall is wide open. Oh, I'm sure, Larry. And there's the thing with that. I mean, they there's always going to be, they're a lot of the situation, and it's strictly my opinion, and those of you that are from Texas and saying Abbott is finally standing up, he's been trying to get the government to do something. They can't. You are not going to protect the entire border of Texas. You're just not going to be able to do it. They can't. They don't have the manpower. They don't have the resources. And when the federal government is not helping you take care of the situation, there's a problem. So they've picked a spot where there was a huge influx of people coming in, and they decided to stop that. Yeah, and Abbott fought Trump on the wall. Remember that exactly. So there's always, I believe, Glenn, I believe it was Oklahoma, the pipeline fire, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was in Oklahoma. But there's always games going on, folks. Hey, Mike. Do you get lonely with no female companion off grid? Would it have been better experience with a companion living off grid? Well, I think if you have the right person, Mike, it's always a better situation, obviously. I really don't get lonely because I'm too busy, to be honest with you. I appreciate the donation and thank you very much for that. Um, you know, if I had a nice lady that wanted to do and share my adventures with me and we clicked and things worked out, then that would be great. I've never been a type of person, I don't need to have someone. Yeah, I have hell as my company, right? I don't need to have someone. I'm not going to settle. That's another thing. After my relationship ended with my wife, I just basically said, I'm not just going to settle for anybody. So, you know, but I'm too busy to be lonely, to be honest with you. And I don't mind being alone, if that makes any sense. I really don't. It's okay. I'm okay with it. Yep. Guys, you're going to have to give me just a second. Um, I will be right back. I got to switch out this tank because I'm not going to sit here for another hour and have no heat and then the temperature continue to go down. So give me just a minute. I'll be right back. All right. Hopefully, it's going to kick on. Hold on 1 second, folks. Give me just a minute here. What's going on? There we go. Now we're cooking. uh, I was like, when that kicked off, I'm like, no, that should not have kicked off. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, it doesn't take long. It's just, it always happens at inconvenient times. Always inconvenient time. Uh, so anyway, that was one of those things we got to deal with when you're, living this life. Hella's right here. She's busy with a bone. I had picked up a couple of soup bones at the grocery store, and so I gave her the first one, and she basically uh, she basically worked that bone down, broke it in half, and was working on the parts of it. So I gave her the other bone yesterday, but that has all instant coffee. Yeah, I don't have a coffee maker. I just I so when it comes to coffee, I know some people are coffee snobs and they got to have their brewed coffee and blah blah blah. I've never really been like that. I don't really care. Fresh brewed coffee, okay. Instant coffee, okay. Doesn't really matter. They're both fine, you know. And so it's not like I mean, different preferences. You have some people that drink a lot of coffee. I really don't drink a lot of coffee. So if I'm up super early and I'm like dragging a little bit, I'll have a cup of coffee. But it's not like I wake up every morning and go, "Oh my God, I have to have a cup of coffee," because it doesn't work like that. I don't. I can take it or leave it. So one a day for me, first thing. Yeah, I mean it's like the only time I do that, honestly, is if it's like I said, if I'm up super early and I did not get a lot of sleep, we'll do we'll do it at that point. But anyway, egg count, really? You know what time the egg count is? Is it now? It is not now. So, but anyway, so I want to go back to this pipeline and this fire, and that they could see the flames, like I said, 30 miles away, and they were talking about, this whole situation that was happening. And again, you're not hearing a ton about that. So that always, they want to downplay those type of things a lot of times, because if it was something that was done nefariously, they're not going to really want you to know that there's somebody in the country doing things, like that. Like, there's all those mysterious fires that happened at meatpacking plants, and there was just a fire that happened at a chicken plant where the whole thing went up in flames. You know what I mean? And you're talking a huge operation where they had, thousands and thousands of chickens, and that just happened as well. But again, that's not the you have to understand, okay? Let's say I'm a reporter, all right? Reporters don't report the news. That's not how it works anymore. Maybe Back in the day, you had investigative journalists that would go out and try to find something. They don't want you. Yeah, JJ's putting the Oklahoma pipeline fire. Um, they it's not like it was before. So what happens now? If I'm a reporter, I reach over here, they hand me the script. This is what I'm talking about. This is the approved narrative of what I'm going to talk about. I will not deviate from that approved narrative, because if I do, I won't have a job. That's how it works now, unfortunately. Okay? That is how it goes now. So um, it's not like it used to be before. It really isn't. Things have changed. I mean, when Walter Cronkite gave the news back in the 70s, it was different then. Okay, you actually trusted the news media then. It is all now completely jaded and one-sided, realistically. And if you look at it, it's just that's that's how it goes. So you just have to kind of take it all with a grain of salt, to be honest with you. I don't believe that you know half the things that we're told. I really just don't. I don't have trust. That's just me. That's just what I'm saying. I don't have trust for the news media anymore, because it's all very biased. It's all very ridiculously left leaning. I mean, let's be honest, you know, and they have an agenda, and their agenda is not. I mean, you think about this. I want you to think about this. In the 1960s, they brought affirmative action in because there was a lot of bias and stuff like that, and people were not hiring black folks, and so they brought in affirmative action, right? Extra money for this, extra money for that, giving people a chance to get a leg up, if you will. All right. And this is what I will never understand. Now, you look at our society now, right? All these years later, right? Almost, what, 60 years later. What's different now? Well, it's a collective mix of people all over the place now, but you will have certain people that will still say how oppressed they are and how it's terrible, and that white people are keeping them down. And that's just not the case anymore. Now, does it happen? I'm sure it does, but it also happens the other way as well. So again, and I've talked about this, folks. Racism is racism. This country could be fantastically great, in my opinion, if we could say, when you looked at me, you would say, well, what are you? And I could say, well, I'm an American, right? When we can become Americans, because that's what I am an American. All right. I come from an eclectic mix of people from my heritage back through time. uh, you know I'm not one thing. You can't put me in a box and say, like you have the whole thing with everybody wanting to be separate and different, and not associating with people that aren't the same as them. I don't get that. I don't get it. Like I said, I treat people individually. If you're cool with me, I'm going to be cool with you. I don't care where you're from. I don't care. Like I said again, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care if you're left, right, center, or whatever you are. Independent don't make any difference to me. As long as you're a good person, that's all I care about. I may not agree with you on your politics. I may not agree with you on your religion, okay? But that doesn't mean we can't be friends. We need to get back to a time where everybody is not offended by absolutely everything that is said or done now. We need to go back to being able to disagree, or to agree to disagree. And that's how it should be, okay? That's how it should be. But it's not, because you have small groups of people screaming the loudest because they want the attention. They want the attention, and that's Debbie Coffee Snob. I resemble that. LOL. That's funny. So, did you see the video of Damon Amati telling them to F off? I did not. I did not see that, JJ. Send me the link if you would, in text. Send me a text and send me the link. I'll look at it after the live stream. It's so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. So, Yeah, exactly. I'm an American with a touch of this and that and a dash of this and that all over Europe. Exactly. That's exactly what I am, you know. But like I said, good people are good people. A-holes are A-holes. I don't want to have nothing to do with A-holes. I just don't. It's a waste of time and energy. I'm not feeding into that negativity. If you want to be negative and miserable and be a glass half empty individual, that's great. You can do that, and I don't care. You can do whatever you want to do, but I don't want to be involved with you. Because I'm not going to let you bring me down. I have a positive outlook on life. I look at the big picture of stuff and I go, all right, if we do this, this, and this is going to be the result. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. But unfortunately, we live in an instant gratification society. There's no doubt about that. Everybody wants to have instant gratification. Um, Green Greg said, "Amen, Ed. That's what I've been saying. We have to learn to get along." Exactly. Exactly. Until we can do that, Green Gregs, nothing's ever going to get better. The other problem with that is, and I will tell you what the other problem with that, Green Gregs, is the media, the trusted news media, perpetuates the hatred. They want people to hate each other. In my opinion, again, allegedly, let me put it like that, because if they're keeping us all fighting amongst each other, right? If I'm hating you because you're this religion and I hate you because you're that color, I will never focus on what the real problem, which is right in front of my face, which is the government and big business that want to control every aspect of our lives. So they keep you divided, they keep you fighting, and you're never going to come together, and to me that's sad. That is sad, and we have to come together. And what we've done here on my property here in West Virginia shows that if you put a group of like-minded people, right? Um, we have people in the group that are religious. We have people in the group that are not religious. We have, pretty much mostly conservatives, being honest, okay? But that doesn't mean I wouldn't take somebody into the group that was, a liberal. I wouldn't care. As long as they were a good person, I don't care. I really, truly don't. Um, so it's just, we try to be, like I said, you have to have some kind of common ground. That's important. If you can come together on an issue, like if we all came together and said, you know what, we're being taxed way too much and we want it to change. If we ever came together and went and marched on Washington together, Jason is finally out of YouTube jail. I didn't even know he was in YouTube jail. Oh, they gave him a strike? I'll have to give him a call because he's supposed to come down here next month. Um, to hang out when I do my next get together. So I'll have to give him a call. But like I said again, you got to have some kind of common ground. You have to have the common enemy, if you will, which is the antagonist of a lot of our problems. I want you to think about, guys, how badly we're taxed. Just go with taxes. Let's just talk about taxes. I mean, every time you turn around, you're being taxed again on everything. The only thing they don't tax you on is food. Well, we already seen what food prices have gone on, right? You've had shrinkflation, so the packages are smaller, the prices are either higher or almost where they were before, but you're not getting the same bang for your buck. That's an issue, you know. So what do we got? 247 on the thumbs up, guys. We got 420 people in the chat. Again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so, and I thank you ahead of time. Again, what do you think? A flat tax would help? I think if they had a flat tax, one tax, and not every time. I mean, so let me go back to that a second. Again, if you have not shot a thumbs up, please do so. Again, I thank you ahead of time. But a flat tax would be great. But I want you to think about this. All right, you are like going to the gas station. They hit you for taxes on gas, and they say it's going for this, that, or the other thing. Have you ever seen? And I really haven't, because I haven't looked to see. And it's a possibility. I don't know. So I'm not saying that it's not going where they're saying it's going, but where's the accountability? Who's showing us where that money is going? Okay, so the taxes on gasoline is supposed to go for the roads and blah blah blah, right? The part of the money from lottery, right? Everybody's all big on the lottery, so part of the money from the lottery is supposed to go to help schools and that type of stuff. How much of that is going there? When you have people spending all kinds of money on the lottery, how much is going there? You look at insurance. Insurance has gone through the roof. You look at rent. So many people can't even afford rent anymore. It's absolutely ridiculous. Tax in Canada is 13%. That's insane. Yeah, and then you figure like if you buying, so you get your paycheck, which you're taxed on. You're taxed on your paycheck, right? Now you have your property that you own. It's your property that you own it, but they're going to tax you every year on your property, and they'll increase that however they feel like. And if they say, oh, well, we're not increasing the taxes, we're not going to do that. Well, what happens next is the local yahoos come around and they raise your assessment. So it is like a tax increase, right? Because what they do is they go, well, your property is now worth this much money. Now, is it? Can you sell it for that? I don't know. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But, it's just UK taxes on all purchases is 20% across the board. And again, that's again is insanity. That's insanity. So every time you turn around, like if you buy a vehicle, right, you got to pay tax on that vehicle. There's all the fees. Try to get a loan. Try to get a mortgage. Look at all the fees and stuff that are involved with getting a mortgage that you got to go through, all jumping through all the hoops and everything that you have to go through. There's this fee, that fee, the other fee, and it goes, don't worry, we'll just incorporate it into your loan. So if the gas tax went towards fixing the roads, then why the heck are there still a bunch of potholes? That's a great question. That is a great question. So, you know, the tax stuff is just it never is going to stop, and it's only going to get worse and worse. And you're working, you're trying to keep your head above water, you're trying to take care of your family, and heaven forbid if you try to have any kind of extracurricular activities, forget about it. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't know if you guys saw, and this is just another example of the Hollywood elites living in some kind of weird bubble and not paying attention to the rest of us. You had Alyssa Milano, her son was little league team was going to try to go to Cooperstown. She was asking people to donate so that her son could go to Cooperstown. Now, the last I checked, right? The last I checked, her husband's a millionaire. She's a millionaire. She's in the celebrity status, if you will. Why didn't they go, oh, okay, the team's trying to go to, Cooperstown, we'll just write a check so that they can go to Cooperstown. And guess what? They could write that off. They could write that off, right, as a donation. But she's going to get on line and beg people to donate to her kids' baseball team so that they can go to Cooperstown. That's a little bit out of touch with reality, in my opinion. Just my opinion, That's why the rich stay rich. Yeah, exactly, Jessica. Unbelievable. So, you know, but, and there's always a manipulation. There's always a manipulation, with everything. I mean, you look at gas prices, certain times of the year, the gas prices go higher. Other times of the year, they go lower. Being an election year, right? Right, it's supposed to be lower during an election year. Who knows? It's just, and then we're supposed to believe everything that they say. I have a hard time doing that. My friend is waiting 6 years for a new knee. Oh, that's socialized health? Is that why? I think that's what you're saying over there in the UK. Let's see. So entitled, they think they deserve our money as well. It's nuts. And then I don't know if you saw the thing. Now, listen, I have never sat down and watched it. never will sit down and watch it, okay? But they get these little clips out on about the View, okay? Yeah, socialized health. Yeah, that ends up being a problem full of hope. Unfortunately, unfortunately. But you had a clip, and they were talking about like poor people and stuff like that, and the way that Whoopi Goldberg was describing it, I guess, in her statement, was that it's the poor people's fault that they're poor, which again, that is out of touch with reality. When you have people that see, here's a problem that I have, and this is just me. We'll do egg count here in just a second, so give me a moment, guys. Um, what I have a problem is when there's people out there that could make a difference in a positive way, uh, that they could invest their money in a way that helps people, right? And they don't do it. That's what I have an issue with. When you have somebody that is worth billions, when you have these billionaires, and I'm not talking, 2 or 3 billion, which is still a ridiculous amount of money. I'm talking these guys like, Bill Gates, Soros is another one. I mean, all these people could do things positively, right? That, would make a difference in the world, but they don't. They have their agenda. They want to control this, control that, and all this type of stuff. And at the end of the day, they're making money off of all of it. How much is enough, realistically? And that's just my take on that. So, all right. Hello, girlie. How are you? You good? Yeah, your tail's going. Um, let's real quick again. Let's keep those thumbs up coming, please, and I do appreciate that. How many eggs today? And yes or no for the white hen. Did she lay? So go ahead and get your guesses in here now, and we will go from there. And we'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses in. And my girl's here looking for her love, so she's going to get it. Yes. Are you a good baby? Thank you. So she is a big galoot. That's what she is. She is a big galoot. Aren't you? Hmm? Are you a big galoot? So I think we're going to be warming up coming up here. No, go on now. Go on, baby. Get down. All right. If you had the same exact guess as Village Homestead is our winner. 4 eggs today, and yes, the white hen laid. So, congratulations to Village Homestead. You've won absolutely nothing. So, saw Malachi's Corner on the Trucker Convoy channel. Oh, good for her. Yep. Yep, I've won nothing and I'm happy. See? Perfect. Just as Soros had intended. But he said you'll own nothing and be happy. I don't know how you could own nothing and be happy, but neighbor Bob, if you could only eat one thing for a month straight, what would it be? Oh, I don't even know. I have no idea. It would be something Italian, some kind of Italian food, probably neighbor Bob, to be honest with you. Might be tacos. Could be tacos. I like tacos. I don't know. I'd have to really, if somebody said you can only have, we're going to give you this every day for a month, I'd have to really sit down and figure out what it would be. I won nothing and I will still feed the chicks. Well, thank you, Asif. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, so anyway, JJ, you want to take care of that individual for me, please? Pretending to be me, and I thank you. So, people are so fun. It's so childish. I really don't get it. I really don't. They're sad. They're very, very sad. I feel sorry for you, whoever you are. I really do. I hope one day that you have a life. But anyhow, let's continue on. Either rice or potatoes for me, they can be made into other dishes. That's true. But I think they said one dish. So they said one dish. So it'd have to be the same one every day. Oh, I love Taco Bell. Absolutely love Taco Bell. But Sean says beef stroganoff. That's not bad, you know. I don't know. Like I said, I would I really don't know if I could pick one thing to eat every day for a month. But no, I love Taco Bell though. I do have to admit that. It's just it's weird. Italian food, Mexican food, I love them both. So I'm okay with either one. My first wife used to make a shrimp tetrazzini that was unbelievable. And whenever she would make it for me, and she'd make a big old pan. I'd eat it for days. So good. I'll tell you a quick story that was it was oh my god, I wanted to kill him when he did it. But so when I got together with my second wife, and my dad had come over, to eat with us, right? And so my second wife says to dad, she goes, "So Bud, what did you think of the meal?" He goes, "Well, Amy," he goes, "wasn't too bad." He said, "But boy, Ed's first wife could cook." I wanted to just strangle him. I wanted to strangle him on the spot. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So the rest of my marriage, alls I ever heard was, "Well, I can't cook like your first wife did." And I said, "No, you can't." I said, "But am I with her? No." So, and like I said, I'm not going to tell you you're a better cook than somebody who was a better cook. I'm just not going to do it. No, my first wife could cook. She was Sicilian Italian, and man, she could cook. So, but she's been gone a long time now. She's been gone a long time. I'm trying to think how long she's been gone. I think almost 11 years. Almost 11 years she's been gone. And I found that out. I found that out. I get something in the mail, right? And I'm like, "What is this?" And so I call it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're just letting you know the insurance covered, all everything." I go, "Are you telling me that her name was Sandy?" I said, "Are you telling me that Sandy's dead?" He goes, "Oh, you didn't know?" I said, "Well, I hadn't seen her in like 15 years at that point, so how would I know?" You know what I mean? So perfect response. Said, "Yep, I married you." Well, and that's what it was. Was I with her or was I with you? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like, what do you want me to tell you? Here's the best pickup line, guys. I'll give you the best pickup line. All right. And I've used this. I have used this. You go up to somebody, attractive young lady, and you say to her, "Oh my God, it is uncanny how much you look like my third wife." And they'll look at you and they'll go, "Oh my, how many times have you been married?" And you go, "Twice." So there you go. There's the pickup line. But remember what I said, how much you look like my third ex wife. Uh, that is so funny. Yeah. Oh yeah, I am definitely a fool, Tanya. I just always have. See, the thing is, oh yeah, yeah, it worked. Yeah, it worked. But it's I'm gonna have fun. See, my thing is, see, what you got to understand is when you ask somebody out, if they say yes, great. If they say no, I just always looked at it like they missed an opportunity to go out with a nice person. It's their choice. You know what I mean? And you can't get yourself all like, oh, I'm all depressed. She said no. Well, she said no. Oh, well, you move on to the next one. You know what I mean? It's just that's part of life. Things don't always work out like you hope they would. It's just that's the reality. That is the reality. So I use that line, and I'm still married 24 years. Oh my God, that's funny. That is funny. But grass-fed organic ribeye, love it. There you go. Yeah, I guess if you had to have something every day, steak would not be a terrible thing to have, every day. So, but yeah, sometimes you dodge a bullet. Exactly. Exactly. You know, like I said, it's like, I don't know if I would ever get married again. It would take somebody extremely special. She would have to be extremely special for me to go down that road again. I'm used to living alone. I'm okay with living alone. I like I said again. I know that I have a buddy of mine. Been friends for a long time, and and just to put it in perspective, like when my ex left, okay, I didn't date for 2 years because I couldn't. I just couldn't. I just couldn't do it. I just didn't have the energy, the anything to put into dating. So I just did not date for 2 years. And my buddy, his wife passed away after they were married 18 years, and I was with my ex for 11. Okay, they were married 18 years, and they had dated before that. And she passed away. She died of cancer, and he was dating 2 months later. And I'm like, I can't. I don't know how do you do it. I couldn't do it. But he's one of those kind of guys that can't be alone. He cannot be alone. He can't. He just can't. So he has to have somebody. He has to be involved with somebody. And I'm like, man, go on and do it. So, and he's remarried now. He married again. But my mom was married 11 times and two of them twice. She didn't do drugs, drink, or smoke. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Yeah, so my thing is this: if it didn't work out the first time, why would you go back and marry that person the second time? I don't get it. That's just me. That's just my take on it. I just don't get it. Right, Bubba One exactly. He says, I've been alone as well. If there is part of me that wouldn't mind a companion girlfriend long term, right, special one. It would have to be. It would have to be. So it's just it's dating, especially when you're older. It's tough. I mean, it's tough. Because we are settled into our ways. I've been single now. What? Let's see, 12 years, something like that. I mean, and I've dated here and there, obviously, and I've had girlfriends, but as far as like a long term situation, that just But you got to understand what I always told people I had three strikes against me. Three strikes against me when I was dating. I had my kids later in life, so I didn't have my twins until I was 36 years old. So trying to date and you have kids at home and their kids are grown and gone, they want to go out and if I'm dating somebody my own age, they want to go out and they want to live life and party and all that again. So there was a first strike. Okay, that was the first strike because I still had kids at home. Second strike, my lifestyle. I live off grid. People don't get it. They don't understand it. They will never understand the concept of it, and that scared people off because of that. The third strike for me was I had a son with autism, and you know what I mean. That's that's sense of humor or looks. What would your pick be? Ah, that's a good question, neighbor Bob. Good question. But anyway, with having a son, I'll address that in a minute. Um, Having a son with autism, it's like the kiss when you're dating. Be honest with you. Um, I think we all, when we're dating, we're looking. Beauty turns our eye. Whatever we're attracted to, everybody's got a type. Some people like big women. Some people like skinny women. Some people like tall women. Some people like short women. We all have our flavor of what we think is attractive. So that has to be, part of that equation. A sense of humor, I think, is important. You got to be able to bust chops. I'll tell you what's important to me, moreover than beauty and a sense of humor, would be intelligence. I have to have somebody that I can have an intelligent conversation with. They could be the best looking chick in the world. They could have a great sense of humor, but if they're an idiot, I can't deal. That's my one prejudice. I'll be honest with you. I do have one prejudice, and that's stupidity. I don't have the time or energy to waste on somebody that's an idiot. I just don't. So, that's so, if you get somebody that's got a good sense of humor, they look good, and they're intelligent, and that honestly, all three of those was my ex-wife. When I met her, I mean, I thought that was going to be forever. What are you doing here, girl? Knocking stuff down? Huh? Knocking stuff down? So, anyway, what? Relax. No, I don't want you all on top of me now. Go, stop. Anyway, what are we at? We got 414 in the chat. We're 298 on the thumbs up. Again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so. And I do appreciate it. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithm. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So let's go ahead and do some shout outs. We'll get that out of the way. We're going to start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead. Ryan's a good guy, growing giant vegetables, really, really cool. So very much, definitely check him out. He's got some good advice for people. There is Icky Can up in Canada doing his thing, living off grid up there. I would absolutely have you watch his stuff as well. Good information with him. You have Angry Prepper, that is Jason down in New York City. Another good guy, like his channel, like his information, so definitely check him out as well. There is also Alaska Prepper, that is Rudy. Rudy's a good guy as well. A lot of good information on his channel. You have Alaska Granny. Alaska Granny's another one. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance, two different channels. Same guy, master builder, living up in Canada, living off grid, showing you how to do everything. Really interesting to watch him do his thing up there. There is Demcat. Demcat is a good guy as well. So definitely, somebody worth a listen to. There is Corporal's Corner. You have Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizarrizza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Really good story, definitely worth a listen to. There is Marfugal News, Adam and Dax out on the West Coast, doing their thing out there in Seattle. Definitely worth listening to. There is Magic Prepper. He is from North Dakota, so definitely somebody worth listening to there. There is Wranglestar. That is Cody, another good guy. Definitely worth somebody to listen to. A lot of good info on his channel. There's Red Poppy Ranch. You have Survival Lily coming at you from Europe, giving you all the major information of what's going on there. There is Kyle's Cabin. You have Kyle and Sierra doing their thing. Definitely worth to listen to. They're living off grid up in Minnesota. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband-wife team. Split their time between Michigan and Alaska. Definitely worth to listen to. You have Green Greggs, who was actually in the chat here this evening as well. Another good guy, good channel there. Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. Definitely somebody worth listening to. Gray Man Prepping. There is Truly Tara 76 doing her thing. Definitely interesting with makeup videos and stuff like that. Nice lady. There is Doug and Stacy. A lot of good information on their channel as well. They've been around for a long time, so definitely worth to listen to. The Nomadic Movement. You have there down in Panama. Nice couple down there. So definitely good information with them as well. They're living off grid as well. The Green Dream Project out in Arizona. Nice couple living out in the desert, showing you what it takes to live in the desert. There is Camping with Steve. Steve Wallace doing stealth camping. Real good guy, very down to earth, and he's up in Canada. You can get a lot of good information from that. There's Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works. There's the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time. A lot of good information with her stuff as well. There's Boss of the Swamp, another master builder. Really good info with him. I wish I could build like those guys. I really do. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond's been around a long time. Good guy. Real good information on his channel. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. She's been around a long time, and she's a straight shooter, and I got a lot of respect for that. You have City Prepper. There's Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer giving you all the information of what's going on with the sun and all that type of information. So really interesting. There is Bear Independent. You have the Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. Definitely worth to listen to. A good guy. When the volcano was going on, he was reporting twice a day. There's Mary Greeley News. Mary Greeley giving you all the latest information of what's going on around the world with earthquakes and volcanoes, but her specialty, of course, is Yellowstone. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a good guy. Definitely worth to listen to, and so definitely check him out as well. Very passionate about the weather, but he also gives back to the community in a really good way. You have Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand as well. He gives you the info, lets you decide what you want to do with it, and I like that. You have Deep South Homestead, another really family friendly oriented channel. I like their channel a lot. You have The Outsider up in Maine. There is Betting on Alaska, the son of Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, doing his thing up in Alaska, starting his journey. 18-year-old kid, and he's got the voice of a 40-year-old man. Love his voice for doing what he's doing. It's amazing. The first time I heard his voice and then I saw him, I'm like, oh my God. Um, you have The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel, Simple Life Reclaimed. You have Townsend showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s. And it's good information. It's something we should be paying attention to because you never know when we're back in that situation. You have The Prepared Mind. There's Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. You have East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. So there is a lot of good channels out there, a lot of good information. I know you guys had put more channels in the chat, which is absolutely fine. I can't give everybody a shout out, so I try to do the best that I can. But a lot of good channels, a lot of good info. I do believe we should be supporting each other. I think that that is important to do so. So, anyway, I'm gonna have to have a drink. Hold on a second. I would not be surprised, folks, if we see um, an increase in events, if you will, happening in this country. They will not be called, and I don't think they'll be called accidents. They'll be talked. They'll be called faulty workings and whatever. But will that be what they really are? I don't know. I'm not saying that they won't be, but there seems to be an increase in accidents, if you will. And that always makes me question when I see that. Was it an accident or was it sabotage? Was it done on purpose? Was it done intentionally? Uh, you know, I just, you know, it's amazing to me. It is amazing to me. And, we've let these people come into our country. So what do you think is going to happen? You know, I don't know. It's just, I think we need to take care of our business, do the best that we can. There is a very large silent majority out there that is going about their business. At Deep South Homestead is moving their gardening videos to their new channel this year, Pecan Grove. Just a heads up. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. Nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, fertilizer plants catching on fire. Yeah, it's when you have all these mysterious fires in different places and those type of things happening, and they're when you have events happen at the border and they explain it away that it's a nothing burger and then it just goes away. That has me thinking, and I'm not saying it wasn't, and I'm not saying that it was, but I just, and I'm not trying to read in to every event that it is, something negative, but when enough events happen to certain aspects of the industry, you have to wonder, you know, hmm. Well, so Super Bowl, I got to go with Kansas City. You can't go against Mahomes; he's just too good. Brock Purdy has done a great job with San Francisco. So in either time could win. Either side could win. But I got to go for me personally. I got to go with the experience that Kansas City's bringing to that game because they've been there, they've done it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, don't forget the chicken fire. Exactly. And you mean the Swifties? Yeah. Not a fan, Larry. Not a fan of Taylor Swift. Not my cup of tea. But she was country at one point, and she had some good songs with country. I'm just not a huge fan of her music, so I mean, I don't care honestly. But yeah, of course, the media is playing that up big time. And whatever. They're going to do whatever they can do to stoke the ratings. That's how that works. We all know that. That's just how it works. So what do we got? 339. Let's see if we can hit. We got 340. 10 more. Let's see if we get up to 350, which I'm sure you guys can do that with no problem. So let's keep those thumbs up coming if you haven't done so yet, and I do appreciate that. Again, it does make a huge difference with the algorithm, so I appreciate that as well. Man, that's sad about the Kansas City fans found frozen. I hadn't even heard about that. Hadn't even heard about that. But anyway, we are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? And the good Legion, not a bad biblical Legion. So just putting that out there. Franklin County, Ohio. We got Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. Chewy from Hillsboro West. Central Iowa with Robert. Utah with Steve-O. Des Moines, Iowa with Kathleen. Sean the Englishman from Chatham, Ontario, Canada. Ozark, Arkansas Hillbilly with Randall. Oklahoma's in the house. Palaco, Idaho. Let's see, Nowhere, Oklahoma. We got California with Lori. David up in Ontario, Canada. We have Tennessee. Birdsboro, Pennsylvania with Melissa. Missouri in the Ozarks with Soupy Gal. Southwest Ohio with Barbara. Ulster Park, New York with Francine. We got Michigan in the house with Bubba One. Southwest Florida with Jessica. John in Las Vegas. Troy in Troutman, North Carolina. Bubba One coming at us from Michigan. Trophy Club, Texas with Mary. East Central Illinois with Ranger. Northwest Ohio with Randy. We got New Hampshire in the house with Barbara. Macon County, Pennsylvania with Maurice. We have Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster. Central New York with Village Homestead, the egg count winner of the evening. West Central Ohio with Dale. Hocking County, Ohio with Katie. We got Critter Lover coming at us from Virginia. Morning Light is in the house from West Virginia. Charlotte County, Florida with Gloria. We have Philadelphia in the house with Mickey. Penny up in Maine. Kingdom of Nye. There we go with Blueberry. I saw we have Kathy coming up, there's Janet and Kathy from Canada. We're in the house. I know they're here. Also, Emil up in Canada as well. Kathy from Bethlehem. I'm probably Pennsylvania is my guess. So, again, folks, we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge network of people. We're the ones that can make a difference now, and we can make a difference. Yep, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. See, I knew. Cooks Cove, Newfoundland with Mar. But we're all over the place, and we're a huge network of people. We're the ones that are awake. We're not woke. We are awake. We got Wake County, North Carolina with Snake Doctor. We can make a difference now by trying to educate people, trying to wake people up. We can make more of an impact afterwards by teaching people how to survive. I think that's going to be an important factor that we need to do, to be honest with you. You're going to have tough decisions. Who do you help? Who do you not help? And that's going to be a tough call. That is going to be a tough call. Hey, did you see the video where there were 5 immigrants beating up 2 New York City cops? I did not, Mary. I did not see that. It doesn't surprise me, you know. They don't know what they're letting into this country. They're asking them very few questions, and it's not like they're going to be 100% truthful with what they're telling people. So, the respect that used to be there for the police is just not there anymore. To be honest with you, when I was a kid, you didn't screw with the police because they would make you have a very bad day. They would make you have a very bad day. So you did not screw with the police. Now, it's not like that anymore. People said they saw the video. Okay, yeah, I hadn't seen that. I'll have to look it up after the live stream. How come they're not helping the American people out who are homeless on the street, even veterans, but they can help them and all those other illegal immigrants, giving them housing, food stamps, and free medical care? I know. Makes no sense, Jack. We should be, again, taking care of our own folks first, not taking care of all these people coming here looking for a free handout. Should not be going that way. But like I said, we just have to. We need to focus on what we can control. I think that is the biggest thing right now. Focus on what you can control. Take care of your business, and you're going to be okay in the long run. Is it perfect world? It is not. And they've done it. They've done it to us. So is it being done intentionally? It seems like it. I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying that it's not. But it sure seems like it's being done intentionally to destroy America. You know, who can say? We will see. We will absolutely see. But I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely awesome job keeping the chat clean. I think that they are amazing ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me. I do appreciate it. So thank you very much for what you do. Also, I want to thank all you guys for being here, supporting the channel. I do enjoy these chats. It's a lot of fun. And so, appreciate the support for the channel. It does make a big difference. We also got to remember, guys, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we are going to be in much, much better shape. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important to tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from following your dreams is you. That's it. Nobody else. If you set realistic goals and then set about to making them happen, the only one stopping you from getting there is you. And that's what it comes down to. So fun for us too. We auctioned off your cereal. Oh, okay, that's too funny. But like I said again, stay away from negative people that want to bring you down. They're just miserable. Their lives suck. They wish they could be you, and so that's why they act the way that they do, which is sad. Instead of focusing on positive things in their own life. So that's just try to stay away from those type of people. So anyway, guys, be safe, keep prepping, take care of your business. We don't know how much time we got, but we have to be as safe as we possibly can be. All right. I hope everybody has a great day, and I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse One out for now.